What's up? I'm Jeff Haynes from Tech Bargains, and this is the video review of the HP NV23 all-in-one desktop. We've covered a lot of all-in-ones, and we've noticed that the rise in the popularity of these systems are primarily due to their easy setup and their family room-friendly features. Users of these computers really like that they have the processing power of a desktop while also having the aesthetic look to fit in just about every room of the house. The HP NV23 happens to be one of the latest all-in-ones from HP, but should your family and your friends become envious of this computer? Here's our review. The NV23 that we reviewed was powered by a 3rd generation Intel Core i5 3450S processor running at 2.8 GHz that can be boosted up to 3.5 GHz via turbo. It came with 8 GB of RAM and was supplemented by an Nvidia GeForce GT 540M video card. The machine had a 1TB hard drive spinning at 7200 RPM, and all content was displayed on a 23-inch LED backlit LCD display with a native resolution of 1920 by 1080. The NV23 also came with a Blu-ray player / Super Multi-DVD burner optical drive, as well as a 6-in-1 card reader. Rounding out some of the specs of the machine were 2 USB 3.0 ports on the side of the unit, 4 USB 2.0 ports on the rear of the system, Beats audio, and HDMI output. We definitely like the looks of the NV23. We heard remarks in the office that the edge-to-edge glass reminded some co-workers of a huge smartphone, with the lone exception of the speaker bar at the bottom. The system has molded smooth curves from the edges of the display to the trapezoidal base, and the stand even provides space between the system body and the base to stow the keyboard, reducing desk clutter. Coupled with the looks of the machine were solid specs and performance. It averaged about 45-second boot times, but didn't feel particularly slow with disk access thanks to its enhanced speed of the hard drive. It was also capable of handling a number of tests without demonstrable slowdown under load. Whether we were streaming multiple videos, converting graphics, or doing other intensive tasks, the NV handled everything and came back for more. Plus, the 8 gigs of RAM and terabyte of hard drive space meant that this system wouldn't be under-equipped in a year or two. We also love the fact that the system was whisper quiet during operation. If you consider that these systems are frequently used as entertainment centers, having a noisy fan kick on and drown out the sound of a movie or other form of entertainment is the last thing you want to have happen. Fortunately, the NV23 was very quiet during the hours of use we put it through, and even when the fan kicked on, it wasn't very loud. Additionally, we were pleased to see that the all-in-one came with an optical drive that wasn't just a super multi-burner, but was also a Blu-ray player. Blu-rays look great and sounded excellent, and if you want to output your video to a larger screen, the HDMI output is just below the Blu-ray drive. That's a notable facet considering desktop system configs seem to keep phasing out optical drives by the day. Speaking of video quality, the NV23's Full HD display was pretty good, with solid color calibration right out of the box. We didn't have to adjust the gamma, brightness, or contrast at all, and images were sharp with accurate colors. The same could be said about the sound, which was fine for general purpose use in surfing, along with casual streaming and movie watching. The bass wasn't the deepest from the speaker bar, but the separate subwoofer output and the multi-channel audio output for a home theater system could enhance your audio. You may also find yourself playing around with the Beats audio panel, because while the speakers can pump out a serious amount of volume, you may need to tweak the settings to limit the amount of distortion that you receive. Finally, we wanted to point out something that isn't frequently addressed, the performance of the webcam. HP actually boosted the low-light performance of the NV23's webcam, so it worked well in a darkened room during the day, and the light from the screen gave enough illumination during night. This is a big difference compared to some PCs that don't have an LED boost for the webcam and are useless without good lighting. Now, there were some things that we didn't like about the NV23, including some items that were rather odd. For example, while the specs for the system might call for wireless LAN, neither we or the computer's device manager could find it, making its lack of Wi-Fi a glaring omission. It might not be that big a deal if you leave the system next to a router and you plug it into a wired connection, but since some of these systems go into kitchens, living rooms, or other places where they'd only connect via Wi-Fi, it's a big problem. Along with that comes a somewhat outdated reliance on wired peripherals. Given the refined look of the system and the fact that there's space to store the keyboard under the screen, it's a significant step backwards to have cables strewn across the desktop to control the all-in-one. That's especially true if you're going to keep it in a high-traffic area, like a family room or somewhere that a lot of people can be hindered by cables. We also have to note that the system came with rather weak viewing angles. Although display quality was strong in the head-on sweet spot, it suffered from the standard color shifts and darkening that we've come to expect from these kinds of panels. Since all-in-ones are frequently used as family entertainment centers, gathering everyone around to watch the machine will be very tricky. Finally, there was a ton of bloatware installed on this machine. Some of this was surprisingly useful. The Microsoft Mathematics utility provided a graphical calculator that could be helpful for students. On the other hand, there's a ton of software in the Start menu just waiting for you to evaluate and more than likely uninstall. We were impressed by the HP NV23. The system looks great, it runs quietly, and it has solid performance, as well as a strong audio-visual presentation with some qualifications. The screen does have some weak viewing angles which can limit a movie watching experience. It also has a few odd design choices like the inclusion of wired over wireless peripherals and the lack of Wi-Fi, which all help to keep it from being the perfect all-in-one. As a result, we decided to give the HP NV23 all-in-one desktop a 4 out of 5. For the latest coupons and deals on systems like the HP NV23, be sure to go to techbargains.com/HP. To enter our monthly giveaway, make sure you always check out techbargains.com/YouTube, and to watch our video unboxings, video reviews, and exclusive video features, be sure to go to techbargains.com/videos.